Today's tip is to move to the side. How often do you move sideways in your daily life? Probably not very often. Most of our movement is forwards because we tend to lead with our eyes. In addition, most go-to exercises in our fitness routines involve forward and backward motion, like walking, running, lunging, even squatting and pressing. Since our bodies are designed to move in all planes of motion, it's important that we consistently move in those planes of motion. Now, to get a little specific, we actually move in 3 different planes of motion: sagittal, transverse, and frontal. The sagittal plane involves that forward and backward motion I mentioned at the start of this episode. Exercises like cycling, walking, squatting, and pressing involve movement in the sagittal plane. The transverse plane involves rotation or twisting motions. Exercises like Russian twist, wood choppers, and bicycle crunches involve movement in the transverse plane. And finally, there is the star of our show. Well, show number 121, the frontal plane. This involves lateral or side-to-side movement. Now, in addition, there are 2 types of lateral movements: abduction, or moving your limb away from the center line of your body, and adduction, moving your limb closer to the center of your body. Today's episode is all about lateral movements, their benefits, and how to incorporate them into your regular routine. Let's start with the benefits. Here are a few great reasons to include lateral movements in your workouts. First, for injury prevention. Forward movements like running and biking use the same dominant muscles: hamstrings, calves, and quadriceps. If you constantly perform those same movements, those dominant muscle groups become increasingly stronger, which is great, but your smaller muscles get left out and stay the same, which is not so great. This can cause a muscle imbalance in the body, which can lead to injury. Including lateral movements that strengthen these muscles provide stability to the joints, keeping you injury-free. Secondly, they improve balance and stability. As I just mentioned, lateral movements strengthen many stabilizer muscles that are important in overall balance and coordination. These muscles can be difficult to isolate when performing major muscle group exercises in the sagittal plane, like squats and push-ups. The third, and in my opinion most important benefit of lateral movements, is that they're good for your brain and improve coordination and proprioception, or your body's ability to sense its location, movements, and actions. Head back to episode 102 for more on proprioception. It's easy to get bored going through the same movements time after time. This is especially true of movements in the sagittal plane. Every day we walk forward, we look straight ahead at our computer screen, and we look down at our phones. Every time we perform variety in our movement, like adding lateral motions, we keep our senses sharp, challenge our brain-body connection, and keep things interesting. Okay, now let's get to incorporating these beneficial lateral movements into your fitness routine. Here are a few exercises to try out. Fire hydrants, lateral or side lunges, skater hops, jumping jacks, star jumps, or lateral shoulder raises. Follow the link in the show notes for pictures and descriptions of some of these exercises. If you're new to lateral exercises, start slow and focus on form and range of motion. For example, start with a dynamic side lunge stretch where your feet stay planted on the floor. You could then progress to side step lunges, then add plyometrics and progress to skater hops. As always, make sure you speak to your healthcare provider or certified trainer before beginning any new fitness routine to ensure that it's safe and appropriate for you. Lateral stability is not only important for improving the efficiency and effectiveness of your workouts, it also improves your ability to safely perform all movements throughout your day. When used correctly and safely, incorporating lateral movement exercises into your workout can help strengthen your larger and smaller muscles, preventing injury and improving your balance and agility. Willpower not required.